Welcome back, friends. The hit TV show Grey's Anatomy is no stranger to tackling real-life events, and this season is no different. The doctors of Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital are facing the life and death reality of COVID-19. Take a look at this clip.
I'm sick of video chats. Luna's gonna think her mom's a pixelated blob.
Technically, that's what you'd look like even in person. Babies can only see about 6 inches in.
Schmidt, not the point.
Val, I know that it's not what you wanted to hear, but Luna's on a vent and moving her is very precarious. Plus, we need to make sure that you're taken care of before you meet her. For Luna's sake and for yours. Okay?
Camilla Luddington plays Dr. Joe Wilson on this series. Camilla, welcome to the show. You have so many fans here at Cheddar. We really appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
Of course. No, we really are excited. Talk to me about Grey's and how it manages to address the COVID-19 pandemic this season, because news is always changing, especially when it comes to this pandemic.
Yeah, I think so. When we actually picked up back in April. And that's where we started our story on the show. But I think one of the things it definitely addresses, which is really important, is the mental health toll that it takes on the healthcare workers right now, and telling that story. And you'll see as the season goes on, the challenges that we all face in different ways, all the characters in different ways, that in particular. And the daily toll it takes in order to walk in and do that job and keep your morale high and your head held high. And it's a really tough situation. So it's definitely the main storyline that we're all playing this season.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, Camilla, because on the show we have so many medical experts, and that's exactly what they talk about, is how tired they are dealing with everything that's going on in our hospitals. As an actor, how does it feel to tell these powerful stories that connect to so many?
It's interesting because usually we're telling stories that we can sort of walk away from at the end of the day. And so, we can sort of, get in our cars and drive home and leave it behind. And the interesting thing about playing COVID this year is that we get into our cars, we put our masks on, and we're also living it. So it feels even more important because it is real. It's happening in real time. It isn't over yet. It's just a completely different way of storytelling as an actor, I'll be honest, because you feel like the parallels between characters' lives and your lives, they're just right on top of each other.
I do want to talk about your character, because fans were waiting to see what happens with your character after Dr. Alex Karev left in season 16 to be with Izzy from season 1. So following Justin Chambers' real-life departure from the show, this season Joe seems to be getting a lot closer to Jackson. What else do you see in store this season?
She's definitely getting closer to Jackson. I think that people are wondering if she's going to jump into anything serious. And the truth is that she's really done a good job, I think, of advocating for herself and explaining what she really needs, which in that episode was sex and friendship. And so I've nicknamed this like the sex pod, because people are like podding up during the pandemic. I think that you'll see her sex podding during the season. And then she also has her roommate pod too. So she has sort of two main guys in her life right now, but neither of them are, as of right now, obviously Jake is, Levi is her roommate, but this is not, as it stands right now, a serious relationship with Jackson, which is exactly what I think she needs.
The show resumed filming in September. What safety precautions were in place?
What wasn't in place? I mean, I feel like it's completely different on our set. So just down to, when we get to work, we have to wear masks, obviously, between scenes, as well as when we're filming. And then hair and makeup, they're in masks, they're in shields, the entire camera crew in masks and shields behind us. I posted a picture of that on Instagram not that long ago. Everyone has to keep their distance. Everyone has to do their temperature checks at home. We get tested 3 times a week. The crew gets tested 3 times a week. We got tested 4 times a week after Thanksgiving. There's separation. There's 2 different trailers for hair and makeup now. I mean, there's just a million things that are completely different. And sometimes it can seem a little bit isolating, I'll be honest, because we're used to arriving to work and hugging everybody, obviously, and chatting together, and that's just sort of not happening anymore for safety reasons. But it feels very, very different for sure.
I understand, Camilla. I'm sitting in an empty newsroom right now, so I know exactly how you feel about feeling isolated.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit. First, congratulations on having a baby boy a little over 3 months ago. Incredible. You look amazing, by the way. You also have a 3-year-old at home. What's it been like being a mom during a pandemic and taping a popular show on a major network?
I'm very tired. It's wild. I mean, what's really difficult here is that in Los Angeles in particular, we're in our second, third, I don't even know what it is, like very strict lockdown. And so for us, having a very boisterous 3-year-old that wants to be out playing, her preschool isn't open, you know, things like that. It makes it very difficult because we are juggling a newborn who has different needs to her. So it's just, I'm very tired. And at the end of the evening, I pour a glass of wine and I binge watch my shows. And that's how I relax.
That's a pretty amazing way to relax. I do that too sometimes. Camilla Luddington, thank you so much for your time. You can watch Grey's Anatomy Thursday nights on ABC. Congratulations on all your success. We appreciate it.